Hey guys, welcome back to Free Car Repair. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. Today will be super helpful video to any of you having a Honda Odyssey, that generation here from year 2011 to year 2017. If you guys have one of those, you need to find where the fuses for the interior lights are located. You may have up to 3 different fuses. So with this we'll explain where each one of those is located. One is a special fuse that could be really hard to find or expensive. We'll talk where you can buy replacement fuses from, relays, that way you don't waste your money, and why it's important to test fuses and relays. All that will be covered today for your convenience. Make sure to stay until the end. Before we start, let me tell you a little bit about us. If you guys have a Honda Odyssey, that generation from year 2011 all the way to year 2017, guys, we will make a video about every single fuse, every relay. Why? Because in the manual sometimes it's not clear what the fuses relays are for. Okay, it could say something like FI. How do you know that this is the fuel injection, but actually it's for the fuel pump? So we're going to make video for every single fuse, every relay, because most of you will eventually even lose your manuals and they're not clearly written, guys. We're doing that to save you time and money. So if you need to find a fuse and you're down the road, let's say you need to find the engine starter fuse, all you have to do, just search for it. 1 second, the video pops out and you can find which fuse you need to check. Another thing now, guys, we're constantly working here at the garage on cars, constantly taking things apart, and we make at least 200 to 300 free repair videos on every car we get at the garage. We have more than 1.2 million subscribers on our channels, guys. Check it out if you need help with mechanical work, body work, anything like that, it will be there. Now, something else, guys, relays, fuses, okay, they could be really expensive. You have special fuses, you can see like the JK's fuses, you have mini blade fuses, multi-fuse box, okay, and these fuses could be really expensive. So guys, we're going to show you those are Honda specific fuses that can be really hard to find, or they can cost you a lot of money. So we'll put a link in the description of the video below where you can get fuses, relays at a good price and quick shipping as well. So let's go ahead and continue now. So the first fuse that we'll need to check for the interior lights, we'll demonstrate here, guys, on 2015 Honda Odyssey. You have 5 different fuse boxes, but we'll need to work in 2 different fuse boxes today. The first fuse box that we'll need to check here, okay, will be on the passenger side right there. You remove the cover in the footwell, you have one kick panel, remove that cover and you're going to see a fuse box that looks just like this one. That's the layout here. You can see you have relays, fuses, but before we guys continue, let's explain why it's important to test fuses and relays. So let me explain why it's super important, guys, to test fuses. Fuses, not often you can see if they're burnt or they're good. Sometimes they may seem perfectly fine, you think it's a good fuse, you put it back in and you end up spending money and time on parts and problems that do not exist, guys, when all you had to do, test your fuse, find out it's bad, replace it, fix your problem. So we will have a video how to test a fuse, okay, different kinds of fuses, and how to test relays, guys. We're going to put the link in the description of the video below specifically to that video. Please check it out. The first fuse that we'll need to check specifically, if you come right here, that second row of fuses will be fuse number 16 through 28. You can see the numbers printed on the bottom, guys, and if we zoom in a little bit right here, okay, that's fuse number 27, 26, 25. That 7.5 amp fuse is the one that we need to check right here, one of them. Then we have more. Okay, we need to go under the hood on your Honda Odyssey, guys. Okay, and here you're going to see you have 2 fuse boxes. The main fuse box is right here. That's a secondary fuse box, kind of like between the transmission and the engine there. Okay, that fuse box. If you open it now, guys, okay, you're going to see a fuse layout, okay, like this one right there. Now, let me explain, guys, okay, what we need to check here specifically and which fuse is for that specifically. Now here, guys, okay, you will have special fuses. You can see that consist of multi-fuses. These fuses right here, those could be really hard to find, expensive, so that's the one we showed you. We will share where you can get them in the description of the video below. The fuse that we will need to check, guys, will be, okay, if we start, okay, right, okay, let me see now, 2, 4, it will be that fuse right there, okay, that's known as fuse number 2, guys, okay, that's fuse number 2. It will consist of multiple fuses, and if you start here, it will be fuse number 21, 22, 23, 24, that 30 amp fuse right here will need to be checked. Let me show you what those fuses look like quick. We have one more fuse that we need to check later. That's the multi-fuses, guys. You can see, and if one burns, you have to replace the whole thing, unfortunately. How you do that? It's pretty simple, by the way. You just remove the bolt and remove the fuse, replace it with a new one. Then you have one more fuse that we'll need to check, and we're talking, guys, about fuse number 11. That 7.5 amp fuse right here, you will need to check as well. Right there. Hopefully the video will be helpful. Thank you for watching. See you next time.